Hello. Welcome back to Golden Arrow. Last episode, we finally finished World 5, and that means that we are breaking more new ground today with World 6. This is Forbidden Temple, and we need about 6 levels from this world to unlock World 7. As per usual though, I am going to be trying to get through the entirety of the world without breaking up. What is that? What a title. One-way door. More Tetris. We had Z-Block at one point as one of the puzzle titles. Oh, we have you and then you too. Alright, I see. I get it. Okay, so World 6. I guess we'll start with this. What is World 6? What is that? Do we have live music? Hey, there you go. What is this? Whoa. Is this a... Oh, it's a big arrow. Oh, it just is a big arrow. Okay. Does that count? I would say it probably doesn't count. But is this an arrow that falls? It is an arrow that falls, okay. Interesting, a falling arrow. Balances are still held. Yeah, there is still a balance between purple and red here. So that's still a balance. Okay. What is this? How do I get this arrow down there? Oh, and it just has a step there, okay. Okay. This looks kind of bad, but maybe not actually. I suppose a balance can be held like so. Yeah, this arrow surprisingly doesn't break anything. I can just do that. I suppose by pushing... No, that push wouldn't work. Interesting. Okay. I suppose it's also possible to put red onto the other red. Okay. I feel like that is an eventual good position for the red arrow, and then I'll hold up the purple arrow, so like I can push... Actually, what can I do? What can I do? I don't know how this purple arrow is going to be here. I mean, I suppose eventually, like, this, with the purple arrow there, is probably okay. Although I don't know how I would get the arrows there. Then there's also the matter of the arrow up here, which either is held by me or by the red arrow as well. I feel like in any case I have to hold up one of the arrows. I think. So let's just see if I can like... I wonder if the portal can do anything special. I mean, not right now. Now it's actually impossible for the portal to actually get... the big arrow to get through the portal. I find it very like... I don't know what it would look like if a red arrow went through the portal. If the long arrow went through the portal. Anyway. What can I do? I do that. That is not very useful. I don't think I want that either. Like, definitely red goes down this line, this column. No. What can I do here? What can red even be on? Like, red can't get on this big arrow, right? Can it? It doesn't look like it can. The problem is, if this ever happened, it makes getting red in there pretty challenging. Because if red actually did get in there, then purple gets kind of stuck. Although, I do see that this is a potentially good move. Because I can also pull up red from here. Although even then, this arrow falling itself is also not really that good. I don't like that. Okay. That's interesting, but not very useful. I wonder if that push is ever... I don't think so. Yeah, both these pawns are on the side, so I don't think they're going to be useful in getting the red arrow here. Jeez, that was a lot of movement. Yeah, I suppose something like this could be interesting. This saves the purples. And then in theory, yeah, we could somehow still hold this arrow up. Which really feels like it's gonna be another problem on its own. Yeah, how am I gonna hold this arrow up? I mean, I think that's somewhat interesting. The arrow, what? What? Yeah, the long red arrow is actually kind of tough to work with, isn't it? I think it's tough to work with, especially once it hits the ground. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get it to be held up by something again. So, like, is it just gonna be on the ground once it hits the ground? I don't think so. I wonder why this purple arrow doesn't fall down. Like, why doesn't that fall down? That's an interesting move, isn't it? Like, this should fall down by right. But for some reason it doesn't. Like, is this still considered imbalanced with this guy? Like, I get why this arrow doesn't fall down here. Because these two will be falling into the same spot. But because this is already held up by this arrow, shouldn't this arrow fall? It's held up by something, but there's no reason for it to be held up. I don't see it, really. I mean, if these two arrows were... No, if this were up here, then pushing these away would cause you to fall up, I think. I don't think there's any way to save this, right? Is there any move that I can make to save you? I don't think so. I think all moves just cause red to fall. Like the long red arrow. What is this? Is it possible to... Is it possible to have this move happen? Why do I want that? Doesn't look good. Oh jeez, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I assume this is also a balance. Yeah. Not really helpful. I guess if purple arrow were up here, I could push and then push up. That would fix things. So at this point, what should have happened already? Also, how is Red going to survive this? How'd I get here? Okay. Yeah, where is Red going to be? I mean, this is a balance between purple and red here. I suppose by doing this kind of move, I can use the portal to push this to the right. that holds the arrows up, and because these two are falling against each other, that is a balance. This should still be a balance because of this weird interaction that we found. And if I did this again, I can make that... I believe I can make it in such a way that this arrow is up here. Which means... I believe this is valid. What? Yeah, no. What about this? That looks right. Wow, okay, what a move. So basically, this is considered a floor space because somehow this interaction here and here, they count as pointing against each other. As long as you have one... as long as you have something... No, you don't even have to have anything beyond this column. It just counts. Because this is going to fall. Oh. So this is a ground space, but so is this. And we can consider anything facing in that direction to be a ground space if they're all connected to the same unit. Which means that if these can form a gap in here, then this space can form a gap in here. Which means this should be fine and we can do the exact thing we planned. Wow, that is very interesting to start. Also, I didn't zoom in for that one. Let's zoom in for this one. Circle of Life. Okay. We have... very interesting... Okay, I can see if this purple arrow were to be here, blue can form a balance with it. And this should be fine for purple to just land here. And then blue can just fall in this direction and form a balance. Because purple is going to hook onto here anyway. That's a move that we've never been able to do before. We can create half the balance. Because that half can already hook onto something. With single arrows that clearly isn't possible. Is this... Yeah, I guess these two arrows are pressing each other. They have two like indirect ground spaces pressing against each other. So are both of their arrows... Yeah, jeez, okay. What a move. Okay. Circle of Life. That breaks. This doesn't break anything. I'll assume this doesn't break anything either. But any left or right push will break stuff. Yes, okay. Can this work? Yeah, that forms a balance, a temporary balance between these three arrows. Similarly, this can happen. So I can hold stuff up. I can hold blue and green up. Yeah, which means that because these two arrows are holding each other up, I can do anything with the other arrows. We can consider this to basically be a solid floor. And this can happen even if this push occurs. The main goal though is to still get them to fall like away from each other, right? Yeah, okay. Is this good? Is this ever good? Possibly. I kind of want this move though. But this move won't work because of a fall. However, green arrow here actually will allow a balance like that. And that balance is also held by this purple and blue, which I didn't realize. Which means that a push will fail. Yep. We did get purple to be further closer now though. So that looks maybe okay. Well, I say maybe okay, it doesn't actually look that good. Okay, purple can go there. I believe these three arrows are definitely in balance, so I can do that. Kind of have to figure out what's in balance and what isn't, but I think this push is now fine. I want to get blue in a good spot first. Okay. I also need some way to push red. So this push is bad. If the entirety of this balance goes away for now, purple can stay to keep balance with the red. These two will stay in balance with each other. It's a bit like I want this arrow to be pushed over to the right twice, but one push will already destroy its balance. So I need something else to hold its balance as well. Okay. Surely that can't be any of these though. Yeah, either one that we fit in here won't really work. However, can I push right manually now? Yeah, I think so. Which means that I think this push is valid. Difficulty is that these two arrows are now very far apart. Okay, if I push blue down, I think all arrows are savable. Purple might need a bit more space. So what I need to do is push... isn't that gonna fail? Yes. Okay. Okay. This push creates a balance. I wanted to separate blue first. I didn't really want blue to move that way. Okay, so this should be a balance that I can use. Green can fall into red, I think that's fine. I do want blue to be in a better spot though. So... this was bad because of purple, right? This is equally bad. Okay. But that technically means this is fine for now. Purple is very stuck though. I want purple to be pushed this way. That looks very good for everyone. Purple goes here, blue creates the balance, green creates the balance, and red wins. Wow. We're getting into some very finicky stuff already. Ant house. Oh wait, you know what? Hold on. Is it actually possible for blue to enter the portal now? Can we try that? I think the answer is yes. Blue can enter the portal. What happens if it does? It blocks the portal. I mean, yeah, if you follow Snakebird logic, this portal cannot directly come out here because this wall's in the way. I wonder if it's possible though, like if there were unobstructed space, could this large arrow portal through? We know blocks can't portal through, and these sort of act like blocks, but they also act like arrows, which we know can portal through. Anyway. Yeah, so... okay. I can't push green to the right unless I move this arrow up. Which I can do to balance like that. But I believe once I push this up, yeah, then blue falls back down. This is a balance, but blue also falls back down, so green doesn't actually benefit anyhow. This is interesting. That forms a balance, but red also goes away. I can push this way. That gets green to not work. Right, we know this push fails because red-blue balance gets destroyed. Okay. This push is definitely really bad. What is the goal here? What holds up? Well, I suppose a blue arrow can hold up the green arrow. Red arrow rests over there. I don't know if it's possible for me to hold up green arrow and push, but I don't think there's any need for that. Why is this portal useful? I don't know. Could it be a blocking portal? Why would I want to block the portal? From here means something in this position cannot portal through. I suppose if green were being held here, then yeah, we don't want it to portal through. But why not? I don't know. Okay, what if I tried to push red up first? A balance can be made here. This is unfortunate because red is also lost in this case, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can't get red to portal back through. It needs to leave that spot and then come back. Which clearly won't work. Okay. So how high? That's not very good either. Okay. I suppose a move like this is still valid-ish. This theoretically would allow green to be pushed over. Why do I want green to be pushed over? Green is in the right column. If anything, I want to keep green in its column. The difficulty is getting... the difficulty is getting red. Also, if blue ever falls into this position, it will get stuck. If blue ever falls here, we can't pull it out. So I don't think I want that. Where do I want red then? Like, how do I want to transport red over? If you were to get blue to be stuck in here, you take up this S shape. Red can only be standing up here, and then you can't really do anything to push it down. Yeah, okay, maybe not. Have I gotten the blue-green balance to work out before? I think I might have. I think this move technically gets the blue-green balance. Why do I want the blue-green balance? It's not optimal either. But I can tell you what might be a bit more optimal is... If green was here... Okay. Let's try that. So I want green to be there, and then I want this to happen, right? And the reason for that is because I can make pushes like this, which is an effective way of somewhat transporting the blue over in a controlled manner. And in theory, if red wasn't, you know, stuck here, I could still get green out and have it stand there. Red, however, would be a problem. How would I get red to do things? Red couldn't follow through. Yeah, red has to be on something. If S shape here, green here, red here, no. Well, yeah, because I can push red, it will land there, and I'll push red again. So an S shape here looks okay. Okay. I just don't want... I don't want this kind of stuff to happen. This is really bad. That's also really bad. What do I want? Like... I want a red-green balance here, but I also want red to be on top of all that. If I got green to push in there, then blue can never be here to hold it up. But I can make an S shape here. Or an S shape here. Yeah, I think it's actually possible to try and get the shape that I want. Like an S shape here to hold green up is also fine, because I can push the... Well, I don't necessarily just have to push the... You might have a problem there. Okay, but in this case, let's just start by trying to move stuff around. I kind of forget how I did this. Did I make this push? No. I made this, yeah, okay, I made this kind of push to get stuff around. Here, yeah, that seems okay-ish. That seems okay-ish again. You'll see that the biggest problem here is obviously that red is now very stuck. So we'll be stuck there, but like the general idea is I kind of want this to happen. And if I teleport back, I don't know where red is going to be, honestly. I suppose the idea is if red were here, I could push the entire thing across. And then this green holds up the blue. Actually, red would not be held up properly though, would it? Red would not be held up properly. Interesting. Okay. I gotta think a bit more about this one. Think a bit more carefully about this one. Can't really do anything without losing the red. I mean, that technically does something. Nothing very good though. Yeah, nothing is very good. Oh, interesting. This does let me climb and push over. Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that looks okay actually. And then... Well, it's kind of like I want this to happen, but it's really not possible. It's really difficult. If I got the hole to exist, which I was still able to do like... I think this is a hole that can exist. Yeah, red and blue form a balance, which I don't like. I mean, yeah, I can sort of transport things over, but blue is now stuck. This still doesn't work. Yeah, red is not gonna survive like that. Okay. I can form a red-green balance here, so maybe blue can do something now. Okay. I can still push this over. Balance this still help. I think by pushing red over... Red is now in a good spot. The entire stack here is also in a good spot because I can just push that over this way, and I think we're done. Yeah, these are trips. These are real trips. Jeez. Okay, you. Okay, I see. I see you. Okay, you fall that way, but I can technically hold you and push stuff around. I can hold you up like a buffer, basically. Or like a shield. I can hold you up like a shield. And then all the arrows that are coming towards me will be blocked. It's like an actual analogy that I can use. Anyway, we've got two balances here. I suppose a U-shape... but a U-shape wouldn't hold this arrow, would it? This arrow would fall. But we know of the interaction where even if the U-shape were already held up by something else, if it falling would clash with another arrow, that also somehow causes a balance. I wonder if that would count. I really don't know if it would. It sounds kind of suspicious. Okay. That's a balance I can start with. Purple arrow is stuck. I mean, I don't know if my first step is going to be to rearrange one of these things. Like, that's something you can rearrange. Something you can rearrange is also that. I don't ever want purple to be on the ground, I don't think. Yeah, I can't really hold up the U-shape. I can't hold up my shield very well. So like, there's a bit more to it. Okay. Yeah, I never want to really push a purple arrow that far. No. Yeah, what can I do with this? The other option is to just set something up first and then hope that that can do something different. That wasn't very different. That wasn't different at all. Also, I can do this for some reason. I wonder why it's possible for me to do that. Oh, you know what? This might be fine to hold up the blue arrows. Or they fall. But we still need something to hold up the purple arrows. Because, yeah. Okay, we can hold up that blue arrow there. I don't suppose this can somehow... yeah, I can get the arrows to be held up in those two spots, and so this blue arrow can now successfully create a balance like that. That's a balance. So purple doesn't actually fall, so this is actually something that we want here, I think. I just can't leave. Okay. Yeah, this is also a balance somehow. Look at that. That's so interesting. So, okay. I think I can push up here by 1. And the reason I want that is because I want to be able to do this. Yeah, lifting up by 1 seems kind of bad. But I would say that's valid also. Can move these arrows into place first. This is always valid. So is this. What if I wanted this to be slightly further left though? Like, that's not gonna hold it. Although I suppose doing this and then doing that would count. Right? Which theoretically also means that this should be fine. So if those 2 arrows were in the right spots, this would be a move that works. Okay. And okay, what else can I do at this point? This is fine, and this is actually really good. This will allow the separation to occur. I think we're done. There you go. Okay. Ooh, long arrow. Shall we try this one? Well, I don't know how good this is gonna be or how bad this is gonna be. I can get this to happen, but this is about as stuck as it gets. This arrow can't really go anywhere. Yeah, I can't actually get into this area because of this structure, just prevents that from happening. Okay. We got 1 balance going on here. It will not actually shatter if I broke the balance because there's another balance hiding behind. So... okay. Why is this arrow useful? Because it maintains a balance like this. But if I manage to pull up, that loses the balance. This is something. That shatters, yeah. I want to be able to manage to get all of these arrows up by 1. That's really interesting. It's like I want to get, like in particular, this arrow needs to be moved over to the left first before that can happen. I don't suppose I can really perform that very well. I guess with an arrow here, a falling arrow would also be still held in equilibrium. Yeah, I can sort of like move this around. This somehow counts. I suppose moving up is interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. In fact, it's so interesting. I don't know if this means we're done. It's like, if I can push this way, I can keep moving arrows down this line, and green arrow somehow isn't affected. I think this means blues will just fall in place. What a level. Okay. I wonder what that means by messenger. I guess it's like sending a line of arrows over, which counts as the message? No idea. Anyway, I think that's definitely going to be it for this episode. I don't think I want to deal with this anymore. I can see 2 long arrows now, and one of them is a very interesting shape. Bow and arrow. Yeah, I see the bow, I see the arrow. I see a very suspicious little hole. That is suspicious. Like, yeah, see, look at that hole. Also, I see that this crevice over here can fit these arrows very well. So that's interesting. To make the shape here that I need. So like, maybe I want to move this over. Anyway, probably not going to look at that too much. I think I'm just going to leave it for next episode. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.